Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Voice of Diary. Today's story is very interesting, so put on your earphones and let's start the story without losing any time. You are listening to Voice of Diary. I'm 28, male, work in sales, and I've always been the figure-it-out guy in my family. My father worked construction, my mother cleaned houses, and I learned early that nothing just falls into your lap. You earn it or you go without. So when my girlfriend looked at me across her kitchen table and said, "I'm pregnant. You need to buy a house now," it wasn't the pregnancy that made my chest tighten. It was the word need. We'd been together 3 years. She's 27. We rented a small apartment, split bills, talked about someday like normal people. That night started normal. Pasta on the stove, TV humming in the background. Then she turned it off. "I took 2 tests," she said. I froze for a second, then nodded. "Okay, we'll figure it out." She didn't smile. She didn't look scared. She looked calculating. "My parents already know," she added. I blinked. Already? They're excited. But they said we can't raise a baby in that tiny apartment. You need to buy a house. Like soon. I thought she was joking. Buy a house. I'm still paying off my car. She leaned back. "Well, you're going to be a father. Time to step up." Something in her tone felt off. Not worried, not overwhelmed, just demanding. "I'll step up," I said slowly. "But buying a house isn't like ordering takeout. We'd need savings, pre-approval, down payment." "My father said he can co-sign if needed," she cut in. "But the house needs to be in both our names." That sentence sat heavy between us. Both our names. We weren't married. I asked the obvious question. "Why both?" She shrugged. "Because it's our baby." It sounded reasonable on the surface, but it felt rushed, scripted. Over the next week, the pressure ramped up. Her mother started sending Zillow links. Her father invited me over and laid out options like he was negotiating a business deal. "You're making good money, right?" her father asked, leaning forward. "Rates are still manageable. If you wait, you're irresponsible." Irresponsible. I ran numbers that night. Even with my decent sales commissions, I'd be stretched thin. Property taxes, insurance, maintenance. And if things went south, I'd be locked into a 30-year mortgage with someone I wasn't legally tied to. I suggested renting a bigger place first. Her response was instant. "So you don't care about your child's stability?" That was the first time she weaponized the baby. I asked about doctor appointments. She said she hadn't gone yet, too early. I offered to go with her. She said she'd let me know. Days passed. No appointment. I started noticing small cracks. She guarded her phone more. She avoided specifics about symptoms. When I asked about due dates, she'd change the subject. Then one night, she handed me a printed ultrasound image. No name, no date, just a blurry blob. "See," she said, "this is real. We don't have time." I looked at it. Something felt generic. "I want to come to the next appointment," I said calmly. Her jaw tightened. "Why? You don't trust me?" There it was. The flip. I didn't argue. I just repeated, "I'm coming." The next day, I called the clinic name printed faintly on the corner of the image. They couldn't find her as a patient. I double-checked spelling. Date of birth. Nothing. My stomach went cold. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed more. A week later, she said her father found a house. 3 bedrooms. Good district. "We need to put an offer in before someone else does." We sat with a mortgage broker. They ran my credit. Strong score. Stable income. I qualified a loan. The broker asked casually, "You two married?" She jumped in. "Soon." I didn't confirm. On the drive home, I asked one simple question. "When's your next prenatal appointment?" Silence. Then, "Why are you interrogating me?" "I'm not. I just want to be involved." She stared out the window. "You're stalling because you're scared." I pulled into a parking lot. Turned off the engine. "Are you pregnant?" I asked evenly. She looked offended. "Of course I am." "Then let's go to the doctor tomorrow." Together. That's when her voice shifted. Cold. Sharp. "If you don't buy this house, I'll file for child support the second this baby's born." My father already talked to a lawyer. There was again. Not partnership. Threat. I went home that night, and did something she didn't expect. I called a family law attorney. He listened quietly while I explained everything. The rushed house purchase, the ultrasound, the threats. His first question, has a pregnancy been medically confirmed in your presence? No. He paused. Then do not purchase property jointly. And if a child is born, you request a DNA test before signing any acknowledgement of paternity. I felt both sick and strangely calm. 2 days later, I did something simple. I reverse image searched the ultrasound. It popped up on a pregnancy forum, posted 2 years ago by someone else. Same image, same blur. I stared at my phone for a long time, and that's when the game changed. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I called her father and said, let's move forward with the house. I'm ready to sign. Because if they wanted to play dirty, I was done being the nice guy.